Happy Monday, everybody. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Pat Cavlin here with a look at your forecast, a little bit of a deeper dive here on Plus, and we've got more of the same on the way. I mean, I hate to say this as a lover of the seasons, just more record warm high temperatures coming up here, at least for the first half of this week. That's also coupled with dry weather, so our drought conditions will go another week where they actually continue to worsen. Now, all of this coming in spite of higher humidity, right? So definitely, not only is it warm, but we're starting to work in more mugginess. The overnight temperatures are turning warmer as well. It's really actually starting to feel more like, September than November, mid-November across the area. If you're not a fan of this, we do have some changes coming up here, and that will come in the form of some rain opportunities later this week. So we've got about 4 more days of this dry, muggy, warm pattern before we work in some changes to the forecast Thursday, Friday, and into the upcoming weekend. But man, look at these temperatures here. 84 the high today. The record's 86. So our record high temperatures this time of year are generally in the mid 80s. Which means our normal high temperature is actually down to like 72 degrees. So we should only be in the low 70s this time of year. We are very, very far from that right now. I don't think we'll get to the record today just because we've had so much cloud cover out there. We will probably tie it though getting into Tuesday, and then Wednesday will probably tie or maybe even break the record with highs actually staying in the mid 80s. And again, we don't see any changes here at least through Thursday. So the next 4 days featuring just more of the same. By Friday though, and the weekend, notice we do work in some cooler weather, still above normal, because again, our average high temperature is 72, but we'll take a little bit of a break, at least from, mid to upper 80 high temperatures going into the next few days. All right, we are quiet though. There's not much going on out there despite the cloud cover. No rain, definitely no storms. Another day here across the state where there's just not a lot to talk about weather-wise except for the heat. There is stuff to talk about, though, going across the West Coast, and it actually pertains to us, so we're not going off on a tangent here. Notice this area of low pressure here moving on to the West Coast. A lot of rain and snow for California. This is much needed as well as they start to go into their dry season. But I mean, this is going to be a little bit too much of a good thing all at once. Flooding, rain, mudslides, not out of the question for the coastal areas. This will be our rainmaker later this week. And it's kind of interesting to think that it'll take 4 days for this system to make its way just from California to Texas, but it's a slow mover, which is why flooding is a concern across the West Coast. Okay, so for today, cloud cover's out there, it's muggy and it's warm. Right now we're stuck in between two systems. High pressure across the Gulf, that keeps pumping in the humidity and the warmth, again, near record high temperatures for tomorrow. And then that area of low pressure, that storm system on the West Coast that I just showed you, that's the other system that we're in between. So we're kind of stuck between high pressure and low pressure, right? Eventually, the low pressure will start to move its way in here, and that will bring us those rain chances later on this week. Until then, though, they will act to keep bringing in warmer weather from the south and west and more humidity in from the Gulf, and even some more cloud cover coming in from the Pacific, right? So just kind of just not the nicest week coming up here weather-wise over the next few days. We are dry though Monday and Tuesday. Again, today, tomorrow, not expecting any rain chances. By Wednesday with the humidity, we may start to see maybe a stray shower chance pop into the area. But it's not till Thursday that we see those chances get back to the scattered category. That's when that storm on the West Coast finally gets here. That'll keep the rain chances up probably into Friday morning as well before we trend drier getting into the weekend. So here's the setup. Here it comes. Again, it's Thursday and a Friday that we see our next chance for rain and storms more widespread across the area. A word of caution though, if you've been following this forecast for the last 2 or 3 days, you'll know Friday and Saturday we were talking about a system that would be riding a lot farther to the south with many more rain chances for us here in Southeast Texas. Unfortunately, the models have started to trend farther north with this system, so it doesn't look like we're going to see quite as much rain as we had hoped to see, just a couple of days ago, because the farther north that system goes, the farther north all of the heavy rain goes, right? It just pretty much stays attached to that center of the storm system. Now, there will be a trailing cold front that could spark off some showers and storms here. It's just not going to be widespread. However, there is a potential maybe for a couple feisty storms if all the ingredients kind of line up. So that's system number 1, Thursday into Friday. Just over my shoulder, though, there's another storm that'll move on to the West Coast, and that will catch up to us getting into the start of next week, so 7 to 8 days down the road. This one right now looks to ride a little farther south, but we've seen this song and dance before, right? Where 5 to 7 or 8 days down the road, the models latch onto something, they bring it through the area, promise a lot of rain, and then last minute, the storm goes north. So take this with a grain of salt. I'm showing it to you though, just to kind of outline that even after the rain opportunity this week, there may be other chances down the road. And of course, this would be impactful because it would come during Thanksgiving week with a rain and storm threat. So this is what we're going to be watching for. But again, we need the rain. And by the time both of these storm systems blow through Texas, there's a chance we could actually rack up some really big rain totals here from the hill country getting into North Texas. Now, exactly where the heaviest of that rain falls remains to be seen. Right now, it looks like it's in these two bullseyes here through Central Texas and North Texas. But hopefully we could maybe get these bullseyes a little bit closer to our area, because the drought situation is really the worst here from Southeast Texas getting into the hill country. Getting into Central and North Texas, not too bad for once. They could definitely use the rain though back through San Antonio and Austin, but man, we're starting to get to a point where we are actually one of the more drought-stricken parts of the whole state. Moderate drought pretty much in play for everybody, and then severe drought now from Liberty County, kind of riding along the Beltway here, getting into Fort Bend County as well. And then once you go far enough to the west, you know, places like Wharton County, Colorado County, Austin County, we're already looking at extreme drought conditions in the darker red. So, and again, with no rain here the last week and none expected between now and when the new report comes out this Thursday, I expect the severe drought conditions to begin to creep into Harris County. So again, yeah, we need the rain. And I don't think that's a secret for anybody. All right, if you're traveling anywhere for Tuesday, here's a look at your forecast. Rain and maybe even some lake effect snow or lake enhanced snow moving into parts of the Ohio Valley from Cleveland down towards Pittsburgh. Maybe a shower chance for DC. Quieter conditions getting into New England. Maybe a couple snow showers up towards the Syracuse area. Cold though with temperatures in the 40s. Across the southeast, beautiful weather. Near 70 for Charlotte. Low 80s for the Panhandle. Mid 80s down towards Tampa. Nice weather into the Mississippi Valley as well. More clouds though up towards Nashville, Memphis, and Little Rock. Across our state tomorrow, hot down towards the U.S.-Mexico border. Brownsville checking in at 90 degrees tomorrow. We'll be in the mid 80s here again. That's record warmth for us. 70s though from El Paso up towards Amarillo, and then mid 60s in Kansas City. Chilly and messy weather in the Great Lakes tomorrow from the Twin Cities through Green Bay and Chicago with temperatures in the 40s. A lot warmer in St. Louis and Springfield in the 70s, and then cool conditions getting into the high plains. Messy weather here from LA to Vegas, getting into the mountains as, again, that storm system kind of spins offshore here. So a lot of heavy rainfall, maybe even some flooding conditions for Vegas. Heavy mountain snow getting into the Sierra Nevadas. Beautiful for San Francisco, lots of sunshine, low 60s for you. Same for Denver, and then 57 with dry weather in Salt Lake. Finally, in the Pacific Northwest, 50s, a couple 40s up there. Really nothing that noteworthy. Kind of mild here for the Intermountain West with temperatures staying in the mid 50s. All right, here at home today, we'll make it into the mid 80s, maybe even a couple of upper 80s farther north and west with enough sunshine. Low 80s and upper 70s towards Galveston Bay and to the east. Tonight, mild, some patchy fog, low clouds, temperatures ranging from the mid 60s to about 70 degrees for most areas. Overall, again, well above where we should be this time of year. Normal low temperatures should be in the 50s. There's that 7-day forecast. So again, we challenge record high temperatures tomorrow and Wednesday with highs in the mid 80s. Rain chances increase Thursday afternoon into the evening. Right now, looks more like a Thursday night into Friday morning rain chance. Temperatures will be in the 80s both days. And then as some cooler air hopefully starts to filter in, we'll see temperatures drop back into the 70s by Saturday and Sunday. Maybe a stray shower chance for Saturday, but I really think it's Thursday night, again, Thursday evening into Thursday night, and then Friday morning that we see the best chance for any rain across the area with temperatures, again, staying warm. Normal high temperature this time of year, 72. Nothing close to that here as we go through the next 7 days. That's a look at your 7-day forecast here on KHOU 11 Plus. We'll have another update on this forecast coming up on the KHOU 11 News at 4 o'clock. Of course, you can watch that on TV and here on Plus. And then Chief Meteorologist David Paul will have an update on Plus coming up this evening with the KHOU 11 News at 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then.